cities and towns are represented in the photos and the reports of damage that we are getting all around our state. Let's check in with Channel 3's Elliot Polikoff. He was in Bristol earlier, Southington before that. Now he's in Vernon. What's the situation there?
Yeah, Dennis, here at 19 Skinner Road in Vernon, and I don't know if you can hear the wind behind me, but it is starting to pick up a little bit here. Definitely still some strong gusts that are occasionally happening. And here at this 19 Skinner Roadhouse, obviously some trees that have fallen down. They've kind of got a double whammy in terms of some in the front. And then as you continue to go closer towards the house, you can see that obviously some big branches have fallen on the house. Talked to the homeowners, the Hennessy's, and they we're just glad that everybody in the house, once they heard the crack, they were all able to get out safe. Nobody was hurt, but obviously if you look at those branches, there's definitely some damage done to the roof. They're worried about what the extent of that damage is, still unknown. They're still waiting to hear back from Eversource or the fire department or figure out what their next step is in terms of what they're supposed to do. The power is still on in the house, but definitely some extensive trees damage here. I mean, in terms of falling on the house, it's all around this area, and it's not just at this house here at 19 Skinner Road. When we were driving out here, just going along the streets to get out to this point, we saw several houses that had trees that had fallen on top of them, and we talked to some different homeowners. They're all unsure about when these trees are going to get removed and what the next steps are. But so far, everyone we have talked to, whether it's in Bristol or Southington or here in Vernon, everybody has been okay. There hasn't been anybody hurt, and that seems to be the main theme from a lot of these people, is that they're just glad that everybody physically is safe and sound, and that a lot of the damage has happened surrounding the houses, not on the houses, but obviously that's not totally the case. So we'll continue to keep you updated tonight on Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11. We'll hear from a lot of the people we talked to, but right now, live in Vernon, Elliot Polikoff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
It's going to be a busy day for arborists tomorrow. All right, Elliot, thank you. We continue our coverage now in the Elm City, where we find Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland live alongside the harbor tonight. Matt?
Well, Dennis, take a look behind me. The gray clouds that were above New Haven Harbor, they have broken up. We can actually see some blue skies as well. And now we're just dealing with some wind, still dealing with that wind. And that wind was the big story today here in New Haven. Down here in this area, United Illuminating, they have more than 117,000 customers in the dark here in the Elm City. It's actually 11,500 of their customers who are without power. Now, unfortunately, fortunately, we are at low tide. But earlier today, when we were dealing with high tide in the afternoon, we were dealing with the spray from the sound. A lot of folks stopping by, snapping pictures, taking it all in. In fact, one person that we spoke with earlier today, he said he hasn't seen the conditions like this for a storm like this in a number of years. Another man that we spoke with, he was a truck driver from Massachusetts. He actually pulled over to take some pictures. He said it was so bad out here, he could feel his truck shaking back and forth because of the wind. And now also, around this time at night, the food truck area here on Long Wharf, always popular, packed with people. The city shut it down today, and with good reason. It's an exposed area. The wind comes right off of the harbor, the sound here, and they didn't want folks out here gathering, and you can see that's a good idea because a number of tree limbs came down here in New Haven. So obviously that will be back open tomorrow, and tomorrow there will be a lot of cleaning up to do as well. We're live with the mobile newsroom in New Haven. Matt McFarland, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Matt, thank you. Our coverage continues now just a few towns away to the southwest from where Matt was standing, in the town of Milford, where we find Channel 3's Courtney Zeller. She's in that beach town for us tonight.
Well, hey there, Dennis. We are at Fort Trumbull Beach here in Milford. The wind's still whipping, but not as bad as it was a few hours ago. We have some good news. You can see the sun is starting to come out, and these waves have died down a lot. So now it is low tide. Emergency officials say that is going to help extremely to limit coastal flooding. And we really haven't seen any flooding in this area. We have seen, though, a lot of trees down, also branches and leaves littering the roadways. Just around the corner from where we are, there was a large tree that fell on a power line. So power is knocked out in this area. There was heavy rain earlier this afternoon, but it was very short-lived. And again, really the big issue today in Milford has been the wind, and I'm sure a lot of cleanup will start once this wind dies down. We're live with the mobile newsroom from Milford. Courtney Zeller, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Courtney, thank you. Eyewitness News is everywhere covering Isaias. Our crews are spread out all around our state following the damage from the storm. Channel 3 New London Bureau Chief Kevin Hogan is holding down the fort 40 minutes or so from where Courtney was just standing. Kevin?
Well, Dennis, we are at Pilots Point Marina, the north side here, and the winds that we have now, it's kind of what we were experiencing around noontime during our live shot. Still about 12 to 20 knots or miles per hour. And what we found here with this anemometer, we got up to 64 miles an hour. And with those winds, as they were peaking at the height, families came down to the beach and they hit the waves, enjoying the waves and the warm water. Meanwhile, kiteboarders, those are enthusiasts, they really rode those waves and they even caught some air. Meanwhile, at Pilots Point Marina, the owners as well as the ground crew, they were busy making sure all these vessels were secure. Now, the big problem is going to be later on tonight at about 12:26. It's going to be high tide again. We're coming down to low tide now. But with the high tide, we have a full moon. And with the low-lying areas, that could be a problem for shore owners. Now, you can see the rough surf out there, the blue sky. It looks beautiful. But you know what? It's still going to be dangerous. Live to Mobile Newsroom in Westbrook, Kevin Hogan, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
Dangerous indeed. All right, Kevin, thank you so much. We are getting so many of your videos and pictures of the newsroom. This is video from Bushnell Park in downtown Hartford, shot by Brett Edgerton at Bushnell Tower. Watch this very carefully. One of those old historic trees in the park, there it goes, knocked down by Isaias. Brett, thanks for this video. This scene was played out all across the state as there are trees down in many communities that we have been covering tonight. We'll be right back. Once the winds kicked up, reports of damage started pouring into the Eyewitness newsroom. Reports of wires down, trees just falling over, trees on houses, trees on cars. Let's check in with Channel 3's Susan Raff. She's live in Torrington, where she's been assessing the damage in the gateway to the Litchfield Hills. Susan?
Dennis, unfortunately, that's what we've been seeing in Torrington most of the day and pretty much in many parts of our state. The rain has come back a little bit and it is a little bit windy, but not like we were seeing earlier today. And this, unfortunately, is what is left behind from today's storm. You can see the tree is split. Much of it is hanging onto and into this house here on Highland Avenue. It's also where two businesses are, and if they want to reopen tomorrow, a tax preparation and a salon, they're going to have to get this tree removed. If you go anywhere in Torrington, especially the downtown or any wooded areas, you see a lot of debris here. The rain really left behind a lot of damage, and the wind. And there were some dangerous situations. We saw a transformer fire earlier today. There was smoke. There were a lot of trees blocking roads. Many people are trying to remove some of those trees so that people can get by, but police are advising people not to do that because it is dangerous. If you see trees blocking a road, you can certainly call 911, and the best thing to do is turn around. But this was a tough storm. As you know, in Litchfield County, they had a tornado confirmed yesterday, and today this storm, so it's certainly been a tough week. We are live in Torrington. Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
They are resilient in the Litchfield Hills. All right, Susan, thank you so much. Joining us now to talk about these power outages that we've been referring to is Tricia Modifica from Eversource. And Tricia, thanks once again for joining us.
Hi, Dennis. Thanks for having me. Happy to be with you.
What is the latest number that you have in terms of outages?
Currently, the number of outages, unfortunately, is 372,000, and those are spread out across the state. I don't think we have a single town that doesn't have at least some outages and damage, although I think the majority is mostly in the western part of the state.
When you and I spoke an hour ago, you said it might be a while before some people get their service restored or their outages worked on. What do you mean by a while? Is that a couple of hours, a day, a couple of days?
Well, I can tell you that we are actively out assessing the damage. So with a storm like this, it takes time to actually get out, see what the damage is, what it will require to restore power. So we can't tell you a time frame of how long it will be. But there is significant damage out there and obviously a lot of outages.
Is it possible, though, it could be a couple of days before people get their service restored?
I can't say that for sure, but I can tell you this, that our crews will be working overnight, not only the crews in the field, but the entire team behind the scenes. We have, hundreds and even more than 1,000 who will be participating and contributing to this restoration effort. And it'll be an around the clock effort until everybody's power is back.
I know in years past when you have outages, sometimes people come in from other state crews to help out with Eversource crews here in Connecticut. Is that happening?
Yes, we've, have crews, Eversource crews also stationed in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. And if those are, as of right now, haven't been hit as hard, we can relocate a lot of those crews down here to Connecticut to help the restoration process. And we'll reach out further for additional help as needed.
I know in recent years the state has been cutting down a lot of trees to try to make restoring outages a little bit of a quicker process. Did they do enough in terms of tree trimming, or do more need to come down, do you think?
Well, Eversource alone does tree trimming year round. We have a robust and comprehensive tree trimming program that really does make a big difference in storms like this to prevent outages. However, as you're probably well aware, Dennis, there is a huge tree problem in our state with a lot of dead, dying hazard trees along roadways throughout the state because of, years of drought and insect infestation by the gypsy moth and emerald ash borer. And that has been a big problem that's plagued trees across the state. And of course, as you know, all those trees threaten the electric lines as well. And in a storm like this, they come down.
Tricia Modifica from Eversource, we appreciate you joining us. I know we'll be seeing a lot of you in the next couple of days. Thanks so much, Tricia.